With the purpose of raising awareness from an early age, Cuba starts a new campaign against gender violence called IES, in which the teenagers from the Caribbean island are the protagonists. Let's see more with our correspondent Fabiola Lopez.
Donde escuchen tus derechos, IES.
Donde escuchen tus opiniones, IES.
Donde te escuchen sin prejuicios.
Son apenas algunos de los mensajes.
IES is a campaign that focuses on Cuban teenagers and aims to contribute to the change of social imaginaries that legitimize gender-based violence. The initiative, which is coordinated by national and international organizations, includes debates on different expressions of gender violence and its effects, as well as the patriarchal roles and stereotypes at its core, offering tools to counter gender violence in everyday life.
What
distinguishes IES is that precisely the collective construction of all the messages have been led by Cuban adolescents, groups of young boys and girls who have gathered to think about the violence they experience nowadays and what positive messages they want to give against it, in favor of popular feminisms and counter-hegemonic masculinities.
Las líneas de mensajes de IES.
The campaign's messages motivate people to reflect on self-care, respect for diverse bodies, the construction of new masculinities, equitable interpersonal relationships, mutual help, support networks, and sisterhood. The project aims at the prevention, awareness, and understanding of these issues.
It is meant to raise awareness, to look for tools and ways for our young people and adolescents to be able to solve all those contradictions, which are even described in the medical literature, and that occur at this age. It is also aimed at giving tools to the family on how to approach issues with adolescents.
Para formar parte de la campaña IES,
the renowned comic book character Lola Vendetta, which captures the social criticism for the invisibilization of women, came from Spain to take part in the IES campaign. Its creator, artist, and illustrator Raquel Riva created a mural together with teenagers from the island. IES will be present in social networks, but also in public spaces, communities, and mass media.
It has been wonderful working with them, very gratifying for me. And also very nice to see how they are leading the campaign from the inside themselves. I think that's the main difference. It has not been a project of adults explaining the world to teenagers, but a project of teenagers talking to the world.
It is a way to open the mind to go beyond the social networks. We were doing workshops with Raquel, the creator of Lola Vendetta. We were doing the murals, we painted, but this is just the beginning. The learning experience has been super intense and super cool.
La campaña IES.
The campaign will be implemented until 2026 in the provinces of Havana, Granma, Las Tunas, and Guantánamo. The adolescents who take part in the initiative say that their dream is simply to live in an inclusive world without gender violence, where the rights of all people are respected regardless of skin color, sexual orientation, gender identity, disabilities, place of residence, purchasing power, or access to technology. And to do so, they warn, they will try to tell their own stories in a different way and from their own perspectives.
Fabiola Lopez, teleSUR, La Habana.
And Cuban President Miguel Díaz-Canel also joined those who praised the legacy of Commander Hugo Chavez. The Cuban leader wrote on X, "One lives but does not live," said the best friend of Cuba, and 12 years after his painful departure, we can confirm it. Chavez lives in the hearts of its people and of all those who believe that a better world is possible if we fight to achieve it. On the other hand, Bolivia's President Luis Arce also joined the international praise of Commander Hugo Chavez's legacy 12 years after his passing. In an official communique, the Bolivian leader expressed, "On a day like today, 12 years ago, Hugo Chavez, historic leader of the Bolivarian Revolution, departed to eternity. During his life, he fought tirelessly to build a more just and egalitarian Venezuela. He embraced the socialist ideology and revitalized it for the 21st century. Like few others, he strove for a genuine Latin Caribbean continental integration and to spread the thought of Simon Bolivar together with Fidel Castro. He was the founder of ALBA and the driving force behind SALAC. In Bolivia, he supported the process of change that the people opened with the struggle. His work and thought gathered in speeches, interviews, television addresses, and other documents are essential material for the formation of socialist women and men of this continent today. Everlasting glory to Hugo Chavez. In Venezuela, a recent poll conducted by Interlaces, an agency specialized in public opinion studies, markets, and consulting, shows that the majority of Venezuelans reject illegal sanctions imposed on the nation. The survey asks, do you agree or disagree that the United States imposes economic and financial sanctions against the people with the aim of ousting President Nicolás Maduro? 87% of those polled rejected the use of sanctions against the Venezuelan people, with only 9% saying they agreed with the coercive measures and 4% chose not to respond. The poll's results show the will of the Venezuelan people to create their own future free of sanctions and foreign interference.
I want to congratulate Latin American and Caribbean network teleSUR that had a great coverage, world-class coverage from the carnivals from Latin America live. Well, you need to see their faces. Go to Rio de Janeiro and you had the Sambo drum. Let's go to Petare and you had in Petare. Let's go to Barcelona, Puerto La Cruz, Los Próceres. And then let's go to Oruro in Bolivia, in Peru, Camarca. Well, teleSUR was great. As Celia said it, they did a great job, teleSUR. Really, that is why you are truly the best channel for, as international character for Latin America and the Caribbean, also to the workers, to the journalists and their president, Patricia Villegas. Thousands of centuries continue like that, but I can tell you that my biggest lesson, the biggest lesson I learned, and the biggest teacher I had in these years of struggle has been the lesson of listening to the people, being close to the people, to march always along the people and receiving in an authentic manner the creative capacity, the resistance capacity, and the capacity to create the future that our people have. And I've said it before. Afterwards, whatever happened came, and the Bolivarian Revolution came, and the Bolivarian Revolution, in the framework of the law, made a great agreements with the U.S. enterprise Chevron, and now it was sanctioned. The U.S. government sanctions a U.S. company trying to hurt the Venezuelan economy, and they try to hurt, and they're hurting themselves because we continue to grow and we continue to develop, and nothing will stop us. That is why I activated the plan. The absolute independence, productive independence, because nothing is going to stop us. Be sure of that. And what did the fascist and fascism do here and in Miami? They went out and celebrated the sanctions against Chevron because they consider that this is a hit on Venezuela. And that is why I join the feeling and the majority feeling of the people of Venezuela rejecting those new sanctions from the U.S. government. We have had some surveys come up today. The 87% of Venezuelan men and women reject these sanctions. A lot of damage have they done to the country in the 2017, 2018, 19, 20, and we have had, with a serious plan, the road to the construction of a new economy. They will disrupt us, and we will overcome that. We will face those difficulties, and we will conquer. We will be victorious today, tomorrow, and always. Will Venezuela win ahead and in front of imperialism and fascism? Be sure of that. That is why I want, Delcy, you are the head of the economy, I stated at the act of February 27th, the creation of a special fund of economic character so that we can relaunch the communal banks as an engine, a funding engine for the development of the territorial economy of the communes. A new stage, the relaunching of the communal banks. That is why I am happy to see that the communal bank of the Maizal, and I asked Angel, I was asking, how does this bank work? Where do they get the resources? Angel, please, let's give an applause to the Ministry of Communes. Thank you, President. Well, here, March 5th, with mixed feelings, but happy because the revolution is alive and we are continuing to take steps to our new democracy, and the commune spirit is felt in every territory. And Commander Chavez talked about the spirit of the savannah, and we interpret that it's our indigenous people coming with us, and Simón Bolívar walking through the cities, and Sucre there in the sea, and also with the agricultural workers, and we are building homeland. And in the face of this new aggression of imperialism, well, as an alternative, we have the reactivation of communal activity with the communal banks. We have an experience at the Maizal community, but there's a lot of experiences to work to draw inspiration and to strengthen this force and to reactivate the communes and these activities. In our bank, we have some resources